Hello everyone. In this video I will be explaining what seeding a random number sequence is, and also will be showing you an example for just to elucidate the whole concept of seeding, right? Okay, so a random seed. What is a random seed? So a random seed is actually a starting point. But it relates to a starting point, right? For a random number sequence, right? So why is there a sequence if it's random, right? So, well, computers don't really generate true random numbers, right? They actually generate pseudo random numbers through pseudo random number generating algorithms, right? Short for PRNGs, right? So these algorithms are deterministic in some ways, not stochastic, right? So ergo, the pseudo from pseudo random numbers, right? So different pieces of software have different ways of generating the random numbers. If I'm not mistaken, Python uses Mersing Twister. Mersing Twister. And if you want to learn more about it, read, Google it. I will not be explaining it too much, but also feel free to correct me if that's not really Python's PRNG algorithm, right? So, okay. So anyway, so this is just kind of like a short explanation for random seeds, right? So just so that you know, also for Python always seeds after the execution, right? After it runs something. Okay, so Python is always seeding, and I'm not sure about the way that how Python seeds, but most programs, most computer programs, what they do is they seed. Their seed is the system time, computer system time. I'm just gonna put a question mark because I don't know Python. So yeah, so just so that you know, right? So Python always seeds after it runs something. So then why seed something? Well, then why should I go through the trouble of seeding in Python, right? So I'll show you just I mean there's several ways for why you would want to seed, right? Even if you're running like a simulation, right? But I will just show you a fun example to show you just some what would be some applications for having deterministic seeds, or having defined seeds, right? So this sample is just something that I thought of, and I wanted to develop a small script, and I thought it would be kind of cool to just like make a program. So I will make it as I explain this video. So bear with me if I make some mistakes here and there. Okay, so I just want to run an example would be related to encryption. So basically making passwords, okay? And not just making one password, right? Making actually a series of passwords. Okay. So let's start the example now that we've gone through all these lengthy explanation. I hope not too lengthy, 4 minutes. So let's start with this example, right? So what will we need for first? Like we would need to have some of the things that we need to do, right? So that we want to do is we might want to make a series of passwords. So we should make it more specific, right? Let's get specific. Let's say that I want to generate 50 passwords, and from those passwords I want them to be have certain requirements. So I want them to be 10 character long and alpha numeric, okay, and quote unquote random. Okay, so those are my requirements. So I guess the first thing that we could do for this code is define our space for the passwords. Like where do we store all these passwords, right? Especially because we're running Python, and Python likes to have everything defined before it's actually made. I don't think MATLAB is not quite so much like that, right? So with MATLAB, I think you can just like make anything on the spot before defining it even. But being that it's Python, I will start by defining my container for the password. So I'll just make it a box, right? So box will be a series of empty entries for now. So, and I will actually make all of my passwords. I will want to have them represented as strings, just to make things more easy. So I'll start with my box, and my box I should be able to hold 50 passwords. So this 50 times an empty string, or so 50 empty strings inside my list, right? So it's actually, yeah. So that's basically what it's saying right now, right? Okay. Now something else. So I'm gonna be working both here and here. Okay. So now the algorithm, right? So the algorithm for choosing, I guess the algorithm now is for choosing 10 characters at random, right? So I'm going to be working on this one now. The algorithm for choosing 10 characters. I guess for just to begin with, we can make it a while loop, right? You can start at 0, and then let's say that we define character number, or n character, and car, just to make it character number. Okay, should be 10. So I guess we can start now that we've defined, because we've defined k equals 0. The point for doing that is basically to make this as a while loop, run as a while loop. So while k is less than the character number, we want to have this box that we define here. I will do it without the box first, of course, just to show what it's doing, right? So while the character number, so without the box, right? So yeah, okay. So I will just have actually, okay, so sorry about this. I'm gonna be defining something else before. I'm gonna be defining my empty string, right? So let's say empty string will be the password, right? Will be just one empty string. Okay. So now let's go back to what I was writing. While k is less than character number, starting at 0, right? We want this password to be equal to itself and a random number, right? But just for purposes of what this whole loop is doing, I will just like make it add letter A. I guess because character number is 10, it will add A 10 times, right? So my next one, just to show you, it will print the password, how it adds the letter A, right? And then it will make k equal, it will add a unit of 1 to k, right? So k, if it starts at 0, then k becomes 1 the first time, then 2, and so on and so forth until it reaches 10, and it can no longer run the loop. So if I just enter again, it will show only concatenate list, not string to list. Okay, this is annoying. So I think I might have made a mistake here. Defining password, like, should probably define it like this. Okay? So now, once again, just to show you. So you see, what it did is start with an the empty string, and add an A, and added it 10 times, right? Of course, we want this not to be just the letter A. We want it to be randomly chosen from a list. So we want it to be randomly chosen, right? From not randomly chosen, but we want it to be random characters, right? So I guess here, what we could do is build an algorithm for sampling random characters. So that's what I will do here. Right. So thinking it would be good if we can actually have a string where containing all the containing all the characters from the computer, right? And then we let the computer randomly choose from that string, right? So I guess we can always just build it by parts. We can start by building a set of substrings. Let's start with the letters, lower cap letters. So I'll just swipe my finger through the keyboard of my laptop. Okay. I repeat the same process with the caps lock on. Okay. Now I guess the numbers, right? Numbers, the same process, like 0. And now special characters, of course. So while holding shift. Okay. Okay, now before we add them to a global string, I thought it would be good that we make the likelihood of us choosing or drawing a number to be similar to the likelihood of us choosing a random letter, either capitalized or not capitalized. Right, so there are how many letters in the alphabet? 26. Yeah, 26. Right, so 26 times 2, 52, right? So I guess if we can always multiply our string 5 times, right? And it will basically repeat this, make the string larger by just repeating the string 5 times, right? So if we do multiply by 5 a string, so you can see that's what happens, right? So I guess in a similar way we can just make just multiply any string, right? Special, you will also get it. I guess like we can just make it repeat 3 times, right? Okay, so we can define our string, our global string now. Just I guess to be equal to the sum of all these substrings. So 5 times LS, the 3 times special. Okay, so as you can see, if I type it, press enter, I get the values of my string, or my string, not the values, right? So you can see this string also has a length, right? It's 141 characters. So the string is actually 141 elements, right? So if I want to draw an element from a string, I can always go and just take the index where my element is. So say I want to choose the first element of my string, it would be the 0th entry. Why? Because Python's indexing starts at 0, not at 1. Right? So as you can see, just double check, it's a Q. Yes, because there is 141 elements in our string, then for us to choose this little sign, I don't know what it is, just select the 140th index. Okay, and we get it. Right? So now to choose just a random value of a string, easily enough, we can just select a random index, and select an index value at random, right? We can do that with this function random integer. As you can see from the arguments, the first argument is the lowest value, 0, highest value, 140. So it selects any number between 0 and 140 at random, taking a random uniform distribution from a random uniform distribution, I think. Right, so that's gonna, when we choose like that number, is gonna choose, it's obviously gonna be choosing the index at random, right? It's gonna be choosing a random index from the list, from the string, right? So just to test it, we can run this command a couple of times. See, it chose to be, run it again, chooses a different character. So I think this would be a good way to choose our random characters. So now we can implement it in our algorithm. In our algorithm for making passwords that are 10 characters long, right? So you just need to go back to what we were doing with the while loop, right? So just using the same example, let me just make this password string equal to nothing again. Okay, and I run this run the while loop, right? Now instead of like choosing an A, I probably need to define k as 0 again. Okay. Why? Okay. So I go back to the while loop. Yeah. Now instead of us choosing the letter A every time, we can just choose a random character from our string, random element from our string, right? Which is a random character. So now what it will do is it will start at 0, and it will start adding random characters to a string that started as an empty string, right? So let's say like it chooses like a 5, then it will add 5 to the string of nothing, and then if the next value is B, it's the letter B, it would be 5B. Then if the next one is like exclamation point, right? It will be 5B exclamation point, and so on and so forth until the password is 10 characters long, right? So in this way, I will, if I write print password, right, it's gonna show us the process of how, basically how it, it starts at populating it with the random letter that was chosen to be G, right? Random character, right? And so in the end, we end up with a password that is 10 characters long, right? Okay. Of course, we don't have to have that command, have that print command every time we're running this code. So just have it not print each of the values it selects, and we can always see it in the end, right? So because I didn't reset the k, it's not going to give me anything if it's going to give me the same password that that it has already generated and you've already seen G plus F, right? So just to show you that password, right? That's because I didn't reset or set k equal to 0, right? So if I do it again and I run this piece of code, it will give us a new password. Or maybe not. Okay, yeah, that's because I didn't reset the password string, right? So should have reset it like this, right? Okay, and now I reset k equals 0. Go through this again, and now it will give us type password again. It will give us a different password, right? 10 character. Okay, so now we've built the main part of the code, we can just nest this while loop inside another loop, and this other loop would be the loop so that basically we repeat this 50 times to generate 50 passwords, right? So select our box. Now we define our box here to be 50, and we define our box to be 50. And now we can start with a for loop for I in range of 50. Okay, and we repeat the code. We repeat here this part. I mean, we repeat that loop, right? Actually, we start with k equals 0, and then we go to that part of the code, right? Maybe it needs some fixes here. Okay. So what it's basically saying this is that you're gonna make this 50 times, right? With this, and actually, it's not doing that. Sorry. So this part actually needs to be changed, right, to the first entry of the box, which is the 0th entry, all the way to the 49th entry, right, which is actually the 50th. This is because like Python indexing starts at 0 once again. Okay, so in this way what it will do is it will choose the first string from the box, right? And it will start populating it with 10 randomly chosen characters, and do that for every string inside that box, right? Until it reaches to the last, I guess, to the last string of the box. So we'll just run the code as it is and see what we get. Now we just type box and enter, we'll see a series of apparently randomly chosen, randomly generated passwords, right? You can see starts 407, so they're all random, right? So it's all good, I guess. So what we can do is we can, this script that we've made, we can just like, or no script, this code, right? We can make it into a script. So I guess copy paste from the shell just here. So we will probably have to make some changes now. So you can see it doesn't know what char number is. So we have to define it here as 10, right? Okay, and it doesn't know what the string is, so I guess I have to go through all those right now. So the string should be letter, right? Should be also this one. The numbers, NOS, and the special characters. Alright, sorry about this. So now the string is a combination of those. Okay. Okay, and it doesn't know what random is, because here in the script side you have to import the modules, so it should be numpy. Okay, I guess no, that's gonna make it confusing. Okay, this. Okay, so that, of course, there's something that I'm forgetting here, maybe. I'm not forgetting anything. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this into a function. Guess keygen. Okay. I'm gonna indent this, and this part is gonna return. What am I gonna return? Return the box. Alright. So I'm gonna save this. So bear with me. Okay. So now that it's saved, I'm just gonna, before I run it, just gonna add this actually to the code. Print the keygen function. Okay. So now if I run it once, I will probably get a set of randomly generated passwords. Right? So you can see I can run it once, I can run it twice, 3 times. They all are different. All these passwords are different from each other. Right? Until I go to a very, very high number, and then they become the same. So that's what I'm going to show you here now. What if I seed here with a specific defined number, right? If I seed 666, then I run my program again. I run this program. I run the script again. Say you start now with pound 19, right? Pound 19 something, right? So let's say that I want to run several times as well. I will get different numbers, right? Once again, they were all different from each other. But if I seed again with the same number, random.seed 666, right, and I run my script again, then I get pound 19 again. I get the same set of passwords, right? So let's say that I'm constantly seeding the same number, right? And then running the code, pound 19, there you go, right? Then I do the same, pound 19, right? If I don't seed it, then, and I run the script, of course I'm going to get a different set of numbers, but that is repetitive. So I guess this is just a good time to just finish the video. Just wanted to quickly give out some take-home message, I guess, from this example. So this can be applied for encryption, right? So let's say that I'm a computer programmer or a software developer or something, and I want to generate 1,000 or 10,000 registry keys, right? Not the registry keys. Sorry, what are those called? Serial numbers? Not serial numbers. Like registration keys, right? So if I wanted to generate 10,000 registration keys that are just randomly generated or pseudo randomly generated, right? And I wanted to know every one of those, and I'm generating them from using a program like Python, right? I can have knowledge of all of those just by knowing the number of my seed, right? Just like I did here, right? So if I start with, if I seed with 666, and I want to generate 10,000 passwords, I will know, I will be able to do so, you know, just by knowing this 3-character number. So that it does not, I believe it does not get more compact than that, right? So if I just know and just have that in my brain, it's like you already have, you have like a set of, you have a box, like an infinite box of keys, right? If you just know, like if you have like a number that is only known to yourself. So that is just the take-home message, and I hope you enjoyed the video.